He understood that the ghost existed first and foremost within his own head, that maybe ghosts always haunted minds, not places. Joe Hill, from the Heart-Shaped Box. When we think of ghosts, we usually think of horror movies or haunted houses, maybe a haunted historical landmark like Gettysburg, for example, or something simple like a dark hallway leading to our bedroom. But what if ghosts don't inhabit physical space? What if ghosts exist inside our own minds? What if spooky things don't lurk in the shadows or deserted cornfields at night, but instead in the workings of our brain chemistry haunting us from within? Many people report seeing ghosts of loved ones, so this might make sense. A deep emotional connection may help people communicate beyond this physical life. Maybe the deeper we are connected to someone, the more likely we will see them as a ghost, for better or worse. Perhaps ghosts are just our minds malfunctioning. In 2014, Current Biology published a study by the Laboratory of Cognitive Neuroscience in Switzerland, which was able to artificially create feelings of ghosts, or what they called a feeling of presence. They had already recognized connections between brain lesions and the experience of the supernatural, but this experiment recreated those experiences in healthy patients. They did this through the manipulation of the participants' brain's sensory motor signals. The results were so powerful that some participants reportedly asked to stop the experiment. The research concluded that ghostly perceptions could happen in brains that were both healthy and diseased depending on the circumstances, and these feelings could be recreated in a lab setting. This implies that mental problems or the miscommunications of our neurological connections are the reason we might feel an otherworldly presence. However, these subjects only felt the presence of someone else. They didn't actually see any ghosts. Also, this doesn't necessarily falsify all of the other possible explanations for people seeing ghosts or having feelings of supernatural presences, but this research does help us understand that our brain is a potential explanation for our ghostly experiences and should at least be part of the conversation. But even if ghosts are only, quote, in our minds, they could still be supernatural. There are plenty of unexplained concepts and issues when it comes to the human brain. Is it possible that mental illness, perhaps even diseases like dementia or Alzheimer's, are brought on by a supernatural and malevolent presence? Perhaps the brain can't fight away certain ghosts in the same way the body struggles to fight away, say, cancer cells. The mutation of cancer cells can be caused by human activities, but it can also be totally random. Cancer can just show up in the middle of the night like a ghost. Perhaps we should fundamentally reimagine how we think about ghosts and their existence. And of course, disclaimer, this is all speculation and not a medical opinion. A novel that examines ghosts and their connection to mental health is A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay, which is a fantastic psychological head trip that involves a teenage girl who may have a severe mental illness, or she may be possessed by a demon or a ghost. The book expertly raises many questions about the supernatural and mental health with few easy answers, leaving the reader almost haunted themselves by the time the book is over. Shakespeare even explored the idea of ghosts and the human mental condition back in the 1600s with Hamlet. In the play, the young prince sees a ghost who tells him to avenge his father's death. Although Hamlet does doubt the motivations of the ghost, he still acts on the ghost's commands. Also, some of the other characters in Hamlet can see the ghost, while others cannot. This could be Shakespeare's way of expressing the idea that ghosts reside inside our own heads. But even if we can't see those ghosts, they still might have very real-world and even tragic consequences. A more recent example of a story dealing with the haunting of the mind is The Babadook, a film that deals heavily with the effects of grief on the human psyche. Is it possible that if ghosts exist in our minds, grief is a powerful trigger to call them forth? Perhaps our minds are looking for closure or an escape from our grief, and this manifests in the form of ghosts. In fact, psychological research has shown grief hallucinations to be a very real and accepted phenomenon. What if our underlying or repressed grief is the explanation for the ghost creeping behind us on the stairs, or the presence under our beds, or the menacing feeling emanating from the empty back seat of your car in a dark parking lot? Personally, I can't say I have ever seen an actual ghost, but I have felt an unexplained and unsettling presence many times in my life. Many people that I trust claim they have seen ghosts, so while I haven't experienced it myself, I am open to the possibility that ghosts exist. However, I do think we should look deeper at the possibilities of what constitutes an actual ghost. Perhaps they aren't the traditional ghosts that we see portrayed in Hollywood movies and ghost hunting TV shows. It may be something more psychological than supernatural. Regardless of your view, ghosts are a widely accepted phenomenon, so we should at least be open to studying their existence and everything that might go along with that. What do you think? Do you think ghosts exist in the physical world, or in our minds, or perhaps both? Have you ever seen a ghost yourself? Are there any other books or movies that deal with these theories that you would recommend? Drop your thoughts and stories in the comments below, and let's discuss it. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.